The Russian army continues steadily to advance toward Huliaipole and the T-0401 Pokrovske Huliaipole highway, which is one of the primary Ukrainian supply routes to the city. Geolocated videos published on the 15th and 16th of November indicate that the Russians have recently captured Ravnopilia and advanced west of Zatishchia along the Huliaipole-Malinivka highway. At present, the Russians are already 8 kilometers northeast of Huliaipole and approximately 4 kilometers east of the city. Analysts note that Russian forces are attempting to isolate Huliaipole from the northeast, likely in order to capture the city from the east. For their part, Ukrainian military acknowledged that there is a threat of Huliaipole being cut off from main routes, including the highway. Russian forces are attempting to advance northwest of the city toward Varvarivka, which is located directly along the highway. According to analysts, the situation in the Huliaipole direction remains very serious. As part of their infiltration toward Huliaipole, the Russians can now penetrate up to 5 kilometers beyond the front line into Ukrainian defenses. It is also reported that the Russians have redeployed units of the 38th Motorized Rifle Brigade to reinforce attacks east of Huliaipole. In turn, Russian-Ukrainian war veteran Yevhen Diki suggested that Russian forces may have noticed the redeployment of Ukrainian reserves from the Zaporizhia direction to the Pokrovsk area. According to him, this is precisely what enabled them to achieve their current significant advances on the southern section of the front. According to him, while all attention is focused on Pokrovsk, Zaporizhia is meanwhile weakening. In the Zaporizhia direction, our retreat is organized, but that's the only positive. The Russian advance there is very serious. Since last week, the population within 10 kilometers of the regional center has begun to be evacuated. And currently, the Russian forward units are just 2 kilometers from Huliaipole. And Huliaipole is a logistical hub, in terms of its significance quite comparable to Pokrovsk, explains Diki. He emphasizes that this situation only highlights the key problem of the Ukrainian forces, a severe shortage of military personnel. Because of this, the command is forced to respond to threats along the entire front line. Essentially, they have to patch up new breakthroughs and advances by the Russians. As the veteran notes, we are constantly fighting in firefighting mode, and the Russians understand this very well. Every time we stop them somewhere, they immediately start looking for where we've weakened our defenses. They understand that we are fighting in this mode and it yields results. The pace of their advance now is absolutely not what it was a month ago, let alone 2 months ago. Yes, the nature of their advance is the same as it was. They are only capable of crawling forward at a very high cost, but they believe they can afford it, Diki adds. The expert emphasizes that the shortage of personnel is now critical and requires immediate solutions. He notes, no matter how brilliant a commander you are, if you have no one to command, all your genius will not save you. Our army was decimated by a flawed mobilization policy, or rather, an anti-mobilization policy. And right now, we are at a critical point. This requires radical changes in the entire military policy. If these radical changes do not happen in the near future, then this winter could truly become the last winter of this war. But not because Putin will finally agree to end it, but for a much worse reason.